Hello, thank you for joining for this short Echidna terminology server tutorial. Today we're going to look at an example of how to use Echidna to look up a concept in any terminology. We'll be using ICD-9 as an example. Echidna is a blazing fast FHIR terminology server with hundreds of terminologies that solves a very common digital health problem. Each digital health service has to communicate with other services using agreed terminologies like SNOMED and ICD. This means that each service has to manage and update its own terminologies, but also to keep those synchronized with all the other services it needs to talk to. Sometimes these services are in different organizations, which makes it even more complicated. Services that use Echidna in echidna.fhir.org don't have to worry about these things. All their terminologies are managed and automatically synchronized, and in this way, Echidna simplifies any digital health implementation, drastically reducing integration time, and more importantly, communication errors. Echidna uses the OMOP standardized vocabularies because they offer a convenient way for you to perform many operations on medical terminologies. Very often, you will start the operation by translating from the code system you're working with to the OMOP terminology, perform the operation, and then translate back. It's quite simple, so let's dive into an example. So let's look at an example now. We will look up the ICD-9 code for tinnitus. When we apply the four-step process to the lookup problem, we start by resolving the string tinnitus to the OMOP concept code. With the OMOP code, we convert to the standard OMOP code, and then we convert the standard OMOP code to the code in the vocabulary we're looking for, in this case ICD-9. And then we use that to find the ICD-9 code itself. Now you might notice that steps 2 and 3 actually cancel each other out in this case. That's because step 1 only returned one concept. If it returned multiple concepts and we needed to disambiguate them, then we can use steps 2 and 3. But in this case, we could just skip them. To do this example, we'll use a REST client. In our case, we'll use hopscotch.io, but you can use Postman or curl or anything else you like. We'll start by taking advantage of Echidna's OpenAPI documentation. We'll import that into Hopscotch so that it can provide us the right endpoints and the right options. Enter echidna.fhir.org/OpenAPI, all in one word, and click Import. Now on the right, you can see the FHIR endpoints for terminologies. So we'll start with the value set expand to find a concept with two properties. The first, that its string is tinnitus, and the second, that it is in the ICD-9 vocabulary. So we'll just remove some of the default values, but we'll define that it is coming from the OMOP system, and that's the URI for the OMOP system. And the filters are the two operations. First, the display name is tinnitus. And second, the source vocabulary ID or vocabulary ID property is ICD-9 we're using the property name here, not the URI. We hit send, and let's look at what Echidna returned. We can see it returned a code. This is 448-33548, which is what we expected. Now let's do a code system lookup, and we'll paste that code here. The system, again, we use the OMOP URI that you can find on the Echidna website, and untick the version to use the latest version of OMOP. And now we're looking for the source concept code, which is, when we scroll down, we look for the property source concept code. Here we can see 3888.3, which is what we're looking for. So that's it. That's the tutorial. I hope you found it informative. And now it's time to go and try it. Go to echidna.fhir.org and try it for yourself for free.